Conservatives are in this for the long haul, right? They might lose the battle, but they are going for the long game. They're going for to win the war, right? You're talking about a group of people that held the same belief on abortion for over 50 years after Roe versus Wade was passed, right? They didn't give society an inch to change their mind. They held the same view, they kept the same ideology, and they didn't let society change their mind for over 50 years until they got the right lawyers and the right Supreme Court and the right arguments to take it all the way back to the Supreme Court and get Roe versus Wade thrown out and to get sent back to the states. This lady, Kim Davis, who is trying to get same-sex marriage overturned, has lost almost every single, if not every single, court case that she's been a part of. And what is she doing now? She has a new argument, a new lawyer, and a new Supreme Court justice that she's taking it back to. She's going back around, taking it back to the Supreme Court justice and arguing again. Conservatives don't quit. They keep pushing until they get their way. If you're going to resist what's happening now, you have to be ready to play the long game. This is not something that's going to end maybe within our lifetime. Our kids and our kids' kids might still be dealing with this legislatively and in the courts. If you look at resistance history, one of my mutuals, Tad Stormer, he talks about resistance history. One thing about resistance history is that you have to be able to weather the storm. You have to be able to be in it for the long haul, because these people are in it for the long haul, generationally, right? People that held those beliefs 50 years ago are not, probably some of them are not even around anymore, but their kids are, and their kids' kids are, and they have those same viewpoints. When I see 8 months into this presidency that people are ready to give up, people, it's like, I'm just going to lay low, take care of myself, and then boom. It doesn't bother me per se, but it makes me wonder, like, the causes that you championed when everything was comfortable and safe, did you really believe in those, right? Or, maybe you did, maybe, of course there's mental health things that go on into that, but, I digress. The thing is, like, these people aren't giving up. They're coming for everything, right? It's same-sex marriage. It was abortion previously. Now it's same-sex marriage. It's going to be interracial marriage soon enough. They're trying to take this country back to whatever it was in the 1920s or the 1930s, right? Whatever we have now that we didn't have in the 1930s, hopefully that made sense, they're taking it back there, right? We're already talking about getting rid of the D.C. Home Rule Act. Now, if you know anything about the D.C. Home Rule Act, it's what gave Washington, D.C. a level of autonomy, right? Of course, it's not 100% autonomous because it's not a state, but it does give the District of Columbia a level of autonomy. And the reason that was fought for very similar to a civil rights bill, right? There's actually photos of Martin Luther King in D.C. fighting for home rule because D.C. was a majority minority city. Don't quote me, I might be wrong, but I believe it was the first majority minority major city in America. And now we have the president who's taken over D.C. and they want to get rid of that rule. They don't want D.C. to have any sort of autonomy at all. There's even people that are talking about they want to get rid of black neighborhoods. They want to bulldoze the homes and things like that. People are talking like this now. If we think that this is going to end in 3.5 years, if we think that, and if we think this is going to end in the next decade, we're wrong. It's not. This is going to be a social pariah over this country for a very long time. Anyway, that's my rant. It was 4 minutes. God, I had a lot to say. All right. Anyway, bye.